Hello, fourth graders. Lesson 6.10 is what we have ready for today. You'll need page 215. On page 215, what I would like for you to do first is the math message problem. Notice that it says use a straight edge. That means like a ruler would be fine, or anything that has a straight edge, right? You could use the side of a folder, the side of a notebook. Do not use a protractor, right? So the last time we made that full circle protractor to measure angles, but don't use that. I'm going to have you create an angle that is less than 90, an angle that is more than 90 but less than 180, and an angle that is exactly 180 degrees. Go ahead. All right. Less than 90. This is our acute angle, right? So I could have any type of angle that's just open a little bit, right? I would estimate that's probably about 30 degrees. Any angle that measures more than 90, obtuse, right? Pool chair time. Now, a lot of times I draw them like this, but you can also have an obtuse angle that's an upside down pool chair or a sideways pool chair, right? So they're not always going to be tilted up like that. Exactly 180 degrees is a straight angle. Look how easy. Boop, straight. That's a straight angle. That's one. That's one. That's one. Those are all just straight angles. So exactly 180 degrees. Now, there's examples too, right? I like these examples because they have the little arrows here that shows you where the turn is. All right. So what did we learn last time, or what do you know about measuring angles? All right, let's cover some things that people might have said. We're going to be using a half circle protractor. This is the most common type of protractor, okay? And that's what we're going to use. Now, look at these two tools. This is what we made last time. This is what we're going to use today. I want you to tell me one thing that is similar between those two. All right. Now, things that I notice is that both of them have angles labeled, right? They have degrees, which is down here, right there, right? So you can see all the measurements of degrees. This time they're up here, whereas on ours, they went all the way around the circle. Okay, so they're a little bit different. They both have a numbered scale, right? We use them as tools. We use them as a tool to measure angles. How are these two things different? A little comparing and contrasting here. All right, what kind of things did you mention for differences? Well, I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, but I'm going to summarize. This angle measurer, right? This guy right here. Let me make it bigger so you can see what I mean. This is marked. We made marks every 45 degrees. Here, 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 here. And so if you remember, some of the angles last time went to right here. So we knew that it was, maybe about 55. I don't remember if that was the exact answer. But in a half circle protractor, look at this. Look how detailed it gets. You can see, right? We have 10, 20, 30, but then each of these little marks right here is 1 degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's 180 of these all the way across here. So we can measure this angle by looking, all right, I know it's an acute angle, right? So I start at 0, 10, 20, 30. And now how many more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So this angle is 35 degrees. Now you might be thinking to yourself, but Mr. White, I see these numbers. I see 140 and 150. So that angle has got to be 145 degrees. But no, right? An angle that is 145 degrees would be obtuse. So for all of these places, there's always two numbers to choose from. So you have to ask yourself, am I measuring an acute angle or am I measuring an obtuse angle? Because that is how you will know which one to pick. All right. Here we go. So how would we measure this angle? What we're going to do, we're going to be putting the protractor on one of the rays and then looking at the other ray. And you can see that here, right? One of those angles is right pointing to 0. Or one of the rays, excuse me. We make one ray point to 0, and then you look at the other ray to figure that out. Okay, so as we talked about, right, kind of doing some estimating. I mentioned that. I said you had to know the type of angle we're going to be, and I think I can I move this one and put it on here? No. There we go. Okay, well, perfect. Watch me. So we can take the center of this protractor. Watch how I'm going to drop it right here on the vertex. You see, it kind of looks like a sun, doesn't it? I like to call it the center of the sun. We put the center of the sun right there on the vertex of the angle. Hey, and you might have a protractor at home, but we'll be using mostly online protractors here. And then it turns. Oh, I made it bigger. It turns, right? You can turn it. So you take one of the rays and you put it right on the 0. Perfect, right? And now we're going to look at the other ray. So I know, let's see, before I do that, this is an obtuse angle, isn't it? It's going to be more than 90 degrees. So this is 110 and 120. I know it's kind of small, but there's 110. It's almost to 120. And so I can count the little marks. Let me see if I can. Yeah, that'll be better. So here's the little marks. You can see them. See them right here? Every time I do that, it changes into that. Let me see how that helps. So here we go, right? Here's 110. So 111, 112, 113, 114, 115. That's that long one. 115, 116, 117. This is about 117 degrees. I asked myself, is 117 degrees, is that what this looks like? It does, right? More than 90, but not a ton more. All right, so this is what we do. All right, now, this is not going, I'm going to do one here, but then I'm going to do one on the video also, because I want you to help me know how to measure this angle. If you have a protractor at home, great, you can grab it. If not, you can just watch. So I need to put the protractor where, see this center? It's like a sun, right? Where does this part right here, where should I put that? I'm going to put it on the vertex. Did you use that word? Watch this. Bloop. Right there. Okay. Now, I now have to turn this because I can't measure it now. What do I need to remember about turning this? When do I stop turning it? Okay, I am going to put, watch me. I'm going to put one of the rays on 0. Now, it doesn't matter which one I pick. I could do this one like this, or I could do the other one like this. Right? And you say, oh, but wait, it's pointing to 180. Nope, 0's here also. All right, so now it's pointing to 0. What do I need to look at now? I need to look at the other ray. Here's the other ray. Now, before we do that here, let's pull this off. What kind of angle is this? It's an it's an acute angle, right? So it's going to have a measurement less than 90 degrees. So if we look here, it's pretty close to 120 and it's pretty close to 60. Which of those makes more sense for an acute angle? It's going to be the 60, right? But it's not all the way to 60. So here's 50. 55 would be in the middle. I would say 56, 57, 58. About 58 degrees. Okay? 58 degrees. It is an acute angle measuring 58 degrees. All right. So I told you I'm going to have you practice here online. I have 2 places for you to do that. This is the first one. Okay. And what you're going to do on the first one is you are going, there's 12 questions here. All of these ones have the angle that's, or at least the ones this one does, right? That's kind of vertical here. So, or excuse me, horizontal, going sideways. I've got one ray pointed at 0 and the other ray. So I'm thinking, all right, obtuse, right? So it's closer to 130, 131, 132. And so my answer here, about 130 degrees. Hey, I was right. Okay, and then you go on to the next question, and you're going to do all 12 of those. These ones won't require you to move this around. Okay, you can't move it, which is why I am also going to have you practice on this guy right here. So they give you an angle, and then you get to turn this and try to estimate. So I know this is going to be, it's a little more than a right angle. And so I'm going to turn it, turn. Aha, see, now it's pointed at 0. So I'm going to go up this direction. Well, let's see, that's an obtuse, so I'm not going to say 80. 100 is better. 100, 101, 102. That's my guess. Let's see if I'm right. 102 degrees. Hey, I got it right on. If you get it off a little bit, it'll tell you, right? Oh, look how tiny that one is. All right, turn it to 0. Oh, come on, get on there. Oh, too far. Oh, it's hard. All right, so I know that there's no way that's 170. Now, let's say, I know it's like 6, but let's say I put in 5. Watch. I was close, right? It says precision 1. That means like that, I was close, but not quite on it. So you're going to be doing both of these, a little online practice. You'll submit screenshots of both. And if you have any questions, please sure to reach out and let me know. Good luck.